Well, welcome back, everyone, and today we're going to finish out Chapter 8, and as we finish it out, we're going to be looking at data mining. Now, what's data mining? Well, if you've ever purchased an item and you started receiving emails and letters maybe promoting something similar to what you bought, that's the result of data mining. It's using electronic technology, computers, to be able to determine what type of consumer you are, what are your likes and dislikes. So this is an important part of secondary research data, so let's go ahead and take a look at it today as we finish out Chapter 8. Okay, everyone, today we're going to finish up Chapter 8 as we look at the practice of data mining as it applies to secondary data research. Now, what is data mining? Data mining is the use of computers to dig through data to discover patterns about an organization's customers and products, and you can apply it to many different forms of analysis. Every time you go to the store and they scan that item goes into a database where it's stored, and from that database, companies can discover spending habits. They can look at who's buying what, at what time, in what volume, and so forth, and they can just use their marketing strategy around that, or develop marketing strategies around that. So it's the use of computers, and these are fairly powerful computer systems that can interpret all of the data that's derived from what we call point of sales endeavors. Whenever you swipe that item across the scanner, that's point of sale. Now, neural networks, it's a form of artificial intelligence in which a computer is programmed to mimic the way that human brains process information. So you're looking in the world now of artificial intelligence and so forth, and what these computers can do is forecast. They can predict behaviors based on what has been given to them and our past performance, our behaviors, and so forth, and they can program that computer to think like us. Now, other types of data mining you see here is market basket analysis, and here you're seeing collaborations. You're seeing here where the analysis at the point of sale takes place, and the company may want to look at coinciding purchases or relationships. For instance, the textbook talks about maybe going to buy diapers, and if you go to buy diapers between 6 and 8 o'clock at Walgreens, chances are you may buy a magazine, or you may buy groceries to go along with it. What they're doing is looking at similarities. They're looking at purchases that go along with maybe your major purchase. And then they can develop a marketing strategy around that. Let's say, for instance, at between 6 and 8, a lot of people go in and fill prescriptions. But when they do, they always buy soda. So you may want to put the soda in a place at that time close to the prescription window if you're going to Walgreens to get a prescription filled. That's how marketers are able to develop strategies to get you to buy more. Customer discovery, and this is just looking for patterns, identifying who is likely to be a valuable customer. Every time you buy something here lately, if you put in your email address, a lot of times you're going to be getting catalogs, or you're going to be getting emails from vendors, especially when you use social media today. I'll purchase something not too long ago. It's been a couple of months ago, and from that one purchase, I started getting things over social media that were similar to all of that. So This is customer discovery. They're looking at people who are likely to be a valuable customer. If you buy, let's say, athletic shoes, and you put in your data or you put in your email address or anything like that, then you're probably going to get a lot of athletic companies sending you promotions and stuff for their products. So that would be an example of customer discovery. Now, database marketing is the use of customer relation management, which is CRM, databases to promote one-to-one relationships with customers and create precisely targeted promotions. And here is where they're trying to get the personal information on you to find out what you like, what you don't like, what you're most likely to buy, and so forth. And it's going to look at name and address, past purchases, responses to past efforts of them trying to get in touch with you, and data from numerous other outside sources as well. Now, the sources of internal secondary data. When you're looking at internal secondary data, you can look for business, you can look at accounting information, sales information and what they are back ordered in, customer complaints, intranets. All of these are sources of internal secondary data. Now, there are external sources of secondary data, and you see that here. External data is generated or recorded by an entity other than the researcher's organization. So any and every company outside that host company is an external source. And some of the ways and resources that you can use to get this information would be libraries, internet, vendors, and you see here books, media, commercial sources, and so forth. So there's a lot of ways and resources for you to be able to get this type of data. Now, you have commercial sources, market share data. Now, one of the things that you might want to look at is a 10K. That's the Securities and Exchange report that every company that's traded publicly has to file, and you can get a lot of market share data, stock information, and so forth. Demographic and census data comes from the government. Consumer attitude and public opinion research. You can get maybe Nielsen. They are, Nielsen is an organization that does research. Consumption and purchase behavior data, and then advertising research. All of these can be and are commercial sources for information. Single source data. This comes from one company, for instance, Barna gives research data, Nielsen gives research data, and they can offer diverse types of data. And because that's what they do, they're a company that offers a wide array of data for consumers. Government agencies offer global secondary data, and you see what they can offer. CIA's World Factbook, National Trade Data Bank. Some information is, of course, restricted, but you can do some government research through these agencies. And then around the world of data, and these are just some sources of data that you can go to, and I'll have you do this for your interactive forum too. I want you to go on these websites, and I want you to find out what stands out with these sites, and we can discuss that in the forum. Well, today we saw how marketers and organizations are able to determine spending habits and what type of items that you like. So it's more than just guessing at what the consumer wants. Today we have it down to a science. Today we have it down to a technology. And as we become more involved with the consumer, with research and using technology to do so, it's going to be interesting to see how we can predict future behaviors and develop strategies around that using secondary research. Hope you've had a good day so far, and we'll finish up now, and I'll see you tomorrow.